Hello, everybody. So, if you class, you know that on this study guide, we did not get through every question right away. However, this video will be going through every question, so just make sure that you are aware. That's why it'll probably be a little bit longer, but it's going through every question on the study guide, which I will share on my screen in just a moment. But I just want to make sure that we all understood that. It's really more like a 2-day project, but for the purposes of the video, I'm just going to cover it in one video. So we are doing a study guide over Hinduism and Buddhism. It's a study guide over Hinduism and Buddhism. We've covered both religions, both Eastern religions, and we will be testing over those at the beginning of next week. If you're an online student, or an A through K student, we will test on Monday, and then L through Z, you'll take your test on Tuesday. So, the first question asks, how did Hinduism develop and what has led to its complexity over time? So, how did it develop? Who did it develop from? So, it develops from the Aryans. And so it mixed Aryan and India's culture. It mixed Aryan culture and India's culture. And so it was also spread originally just by word of mouth. It was eventually written down in the Vedas, which are the Hindu holy books, but it was originally spread by word of mouth. So oral stories about Hinduism and Hinduism beliefs. And so we know that Hinduism is very peaceful and accepting of other beliefs. And so over time, I'm going to switch to a different color because I'm kind of answering the second question now. Over time, it absorbed many beliefs from different religions. It absorbed many beliefs from other religions. And that makes it super complex, and as a result, they have many different traditions. So how did it develop? It developed with the Aryans. They mixed Aryan culture and India's culture. It spread by word of mouth, and it absorbed many beliefs from other religions, and because of that, they have many different traditions. What is the caste system, and how did it influence Dharma in Hinduism? So the caste system, if you remember when we were talking about agricultural revolution and agricultural civilizations, we said that these civilizations had to have some form of a social hierarchy. And so the caste system is a form of a social hierarchy. And it was very extreme in ancient India. I spelled hierarchy wrong. And very controversial as well. So there's a form of a social hierarchy. You could not move castes in one life. You couldn't move up the pyramid in one life. But you could be reincarnated into a better caste. Could be reincarnated into a better caste. And to be reincarnated into a better caste, so to be reincarnated into a better life than the one that you had to have dharma. This is more for the second question, so again, I'm switching colors. You had to have good karma and good dharma. So your dharma determined your karma. And so had to have good karma. And karma is like doing good things for others. Having good fortune by doing good actions. So you had to have good karma, and that was determined by your dharma. And your dharma is your purpose in life, and it's determined by your caste. So that's how they all kind of, it's like a full circle thing. So dharma was your purpose in life according to your caste. So if you were like a slave, then you would get good karma and good dharma by being a good slave, not by trying to be somebody else who's not a slave, but to just be a good slave and to not complain about it. Which, today sounds very sad, but that's just what they accepted at this time. So what is the Brahmin in Hinduism? What is the Brahmin? The Brahmin is the universal spirit or power that is present in everything and everywhere. The universal spirit or power that is present everywhere and in everything. That is Brahman, the universal spirit or power that is present everywhere and in everything. And I am going through these kind of quickly, so I would recommend pausing the video or screenshotting it so that you can fill it in later. What is moksha? Moksha is like eternal peace. That is reached when the soul stops being reincarnated and reunites with Brahman. And so the second question asks, how is it different from nirvana? How is moksha different from nirvana? Not to be confused with the popular band, but the Buddhism belief. Nirvana is also eternal peace. But Buddhists don't believe in the Brahman. So nirvana is also eternal peace, but Buddhists don't believe in Brahman. Who is the founder of Buddhism? Well, we know that they now call him Buddha. But his name was Siddhartha Gautama. And he was a prince, a Hindu prince. And so that's kind of how Buddhism forms out of Hinduism, because he was a Hindu prince. Okay. What are the Four Noble Truths? The Four Noble Truths. The first one is that suffering and unhappiness are part of human life, and no one can escape sorrow. So suffering is inescapable. Suffering is inescapable. The second one is that suffering comes from our desires for material goods. Suffering comes from desires for material goods. The third noble truth is that people can overcome their desires and their ignorance to reach nirvana. People overcome desires to reach nirvana. Nirvana's like the eternal peace in Buddhism. And that people can overcome ignorance by following an eightfold path. So follow the eightfold path, which is like the 8 rules for Buddhism. The 8 pieces of wisdom. So follow the eightfold path. Number 7. Here, I'll zoom out in case you needed to see this. Number 6 a little bit better. Suffering is inescapable. Suffering comes from desire for material goods. People overcome desire to reach nirvana, and then you can follow the eightfold path. How are Buddhist and Hindu Dharma different? If you remember, we kind of chanted this during class a little bit. It's that Hindus believe in the caste system and that the caste determines your Dharma. Hindus believe that caste determines your Dharma. And Buddhists don't believe in the caste system. Buddhists don't believe in the caste system. So a lot of similarities between Hinduism and Buddhism, but those are the two most important. What do Hindus and Buddhists believe happen when you die? This is a very important vocab word. Starts with an R. I'll give you a second. Maybe you can think on your own. But they believe in reincarnation. Reincarnation, or the soul is reborn into a new body. Not necessarily always a human body. Remember, we talked about how Hindus believe that cows are very prestigious. So if you have lived the ultimate life, maybe you'd become a cow in your next life. So the soul is reborn into a new body, not necessarily a human body. Can Hindus improve their caste during their lifetime? We kind of answered this earlier, and the answer is no. They stay in the same caste no matter what during a single lifetime. So no. Not in one lifetime. They can after they've been reincarnated. Does Buddhism have a caste system? Again, that's how the Dharma is different, right? Buddhists do not believe in a caste system. And what is the goal of Buddhism? What is the goal of Buddhism? What is the definition of Buddha, it says? So if we look in our notes, we can see that Buddha means the awakened one, right? And so the whole goal is to become enlightened. So you can say enlightenment, to become awakened, which just means to have a deep understanding of life and of the world. So enlightenment, to become awakened. Buddha means the awakened one. So that should be everything in your study guide. We will review more tomorrow. And so here's the second page if you want to take a minute and maybe screenshot this if you need to fill it in, or just look at it. I'll give you a second as I talk. So maybe you can make sure that if you have any questions, you message me or attend class to ask me. That way you are prepared for your test next week. Here's the first page. So you're prepared for your test next week. I do post all the information online, but if you have a question that I don't answer during a class, then it would be beneficial for you to message me with that kind of question. And then, like I said, here's the first page. Remember, the pink answers the second question. The purple blue color answers the first. So I'm going to head back to Teams now. We will most likely be doing a Kahoot during class, so I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.